So, guys, I'm going to go and jump straight in here and talk about what I've been playing, what I'm enjoying, and kind of a surprise to myself as to what kind of got me hooked into playing what I've been playing or what I did play. Okay, I know there's a lot of words in there. It was kind of like a jumbled mess. I've ended up playing 3-4 months pretty consistently of Destiny 2, which for me is a pretty big shocker because I am a game hopper. I love hopping games, playing new games, and I think part of what made me stick to Destiny 2 so much is how much there is to do in it at this time. Mind you, it's pretty grindy, and also what made me stick to it is starting the clan up and really pushing forward, and then everybody else contributing. And Bryce is the one who agreed with me at the start, and then with everybody else contributing and kind of helping expand that and make it what it is. And I think that's what really got me stuck on Destiny, and it really feels like that MMO light. It feels kind of MMO-ish to where there was always something to do, and part of what made things to do is we made things to do in the game, right? It wasn't a game that continuously drip-fed you content in a crazy amount to the point where you didn't have to search for things to do or make up events and things like that. There was just always things to do in the game. With kind of enough on that is that's a mixed bag in itself, right? And I love being able to create things to do for me and other people to do in games, right? I think that's kind of what makes Halo, and that's a different topic for another time, and I can't wait for that game to come out, mind you. Come out for the PC, and it's off and on for some people. Oh, it's an old game, blah, blah, blah. But back to it. The Division 2, right? I have been having a fantastic time with it. I already have 20-something odd hours into it, which is nothing compared to a lot of people who've been playing it. With it being out for 2 weeks now, I think it's been out. But I've had a fantastic time with it, right? It's a fun game for me. I think it's a fun game to stream because you never know what type of glitches are going to happen, and there's always good loot dropping in it. And it feels like the Diablo of shooters. It does to me. Kind of like what Borderlands felt like to me a long time ago. Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and talk about the announcement of Borderlands 3, the trailer that just came out, Mask of Mayhem. Hey, check that out. Check that out. If I don't link it below, Mask of Mayhem Borderlands trailer. It'll pop right up. And kind of to go back to what the whole point of this video is I want to talk about kind of what's been sticking, what games and why games stick to me, and what I'm starting to find out is the kind of customization option that lets us tailor the experience to what we want. And that comes to a point, okay? If you have a game that tries to cater to everyone, whether it's PvP, raids, MMO-ish, or PvP, raids, open events, open world, action, RP, if you have everything in one mixed bag, you're not defining yourself as a game. The game itself doesn't define itself, right? And then you have all these different communities coming in together. It's like if Star Trek, Star Wars, Narnia, Harry Potter, everything was just all in one, right? Then you have all these different groups of people that are mashing together that are confused as hell because it takes a different niche type of group of people for each one of those types of movies, right? And you could say, Star Wars and Star Trek, they're basically the same thing. They're not the same thing. In my opinion, Star Trek is a little bit more, it's not as mainstream as Star Wars has become and what they made it, and it's because of, I think, the way that they talk, they present themselves, kind of like all that crap, but what I'm getting at here is what defines a game makes the game and helps push the community, and that's what helps for me as a player stick to it. And the game needs to have a defining factor to it and doesn't necessarily need to please everybody. Because when you get to that point where you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody, because you, as a game developer, are confusing the players, and also not putting all your effort or all that power that you have, or all those bodies of developers to push that certain type of content, which pulls those type of players. And you may start having lackluster PvP, or you may start having lackluster PvE, because you're focusing half and half on one instead of fully in one area or fully in another area. Now, with that being said, you can have options, let's say for PvP, to where people can tailor their own experiences, right? Instead of you having to push all this content into PvP and feeling like you need to, you can have it to have a safe zone to where people can do their own thing in those areas, right? Thinking that you have to micromanage everything in a certain area of the game could end up taking away from the game. And I think that's what kind of makes games like Skyrim, for example, like any all the Elder Scrolls games, a lot of the Bethesda games up until 76, with the modding communities thrive, is because they've been able to give people these experiences that they make themselves, right? And these communities that thrive themselves because of how much they love the game that the developer originally created, and not they love the game that the developer originally created, and they love that game that the developer created to allow the players to create something of their own within the universe that they already love. So what I'm getting at is there's a lot of different types of games. There's a lot of different genres. And I'm starting to understand what I like as a player for the first time in a long time. Instead of going out and searching and searching and searching and searching, with being me and still loving to play everything, and what makes me stick to a game. And once you find something that you like, whether it is, and some people already know, whether it's a racing game or just hardcore RPGs, story-driven games, solo experiences, non-competitive, whatever it is, or just casual shooting up each other or sword, whatever, you'll find it. And once you do it, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. But I'm not going to be done continuing to play different games and things like that. But I'm starting to figure out what I enjoy playing, and what I enjoy sharing with all of you guys. As I do start to take on this very long and awesome journey that is YouTube and Twitch. That is something that I've always wanted to do, and it's something that really drives me. I know this was a long one. For all of you who watched all the way to the end, thank you a ton. And thanks everybody on Daddy Lettuce for being homies, and all my friends who continue to play games and love doing what we do. I'm going to sign off for now. I've got homework to do. I've got a dog to walk. Until next time, guys. Comment below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Me going on my little rampage and discussing what's on my mind. And I'll talk to you soon.